Creation of consignment documents while importing from or exporting to India and countries other than India, COTI, third countries. All traders, including government agencies, business entities, and individuals, are required to obtain consignment documents through the BTFN system for both exports and imports. The consignment documents include import license to import goods from countries other than India, COTI, certificate of origin to export goods to COTI, import registration to import goods from India, export registration to export goods to India. Traders engaged in trade with India are now mandated to register in the system for import and export. This initiative aims to enhance and automate the trade process, particularly considering that 85% of Bhutan's total trade is with India. Please note that applicants for imports of goods must apply for a UCR number before applying for an import license. Refer to the tutorial video for UCR number creation guidance. To apply for an import license, please visit www.btfn.bt and log in using your credentials. Click on Agency Application Submission and select Import License, Export Permit, COO. Fill up all details under the header section. If applicant is applying for import license to import goods other than raw materials, follow these steps. Choose DOT_HQ as the OGA name. Select License for document type. For the document, pick Import from COTI if you're importing from countries other than India, third countries, or Import from India if you're importing from India. From the drop-down, choose your UCR number. After making these selections, click on Save to proceed. When you click the Save button, you will remain on the current page. However, if you click on the Save and Continue button, your changes will be saved and you will be taken to the next page. If you're applying for an import license to bring in raw materials, here are the steps to follow. Start by selecting Department of Industry DOI as the OGA name. For document type, choose Permit. Now, for the document, simply pick the relevant document name or code from the list provided. M and L stands for medium and large scale, while CSI stands for cottage and small scale. In the Master Reference Number field, all you need to do is choose the reference number from the drop-down menu. This reference number is directly linked to the annual raw materials requirement application you previously submitted and which got approved. This is covered in the tutorial video on the annual raw materials requirement application by manufacturing companies. Next, in the UCR number field, select your choice from the drop-down list. Once you've made these selections, click the Save button to proceed. Application process for Certificate of Origin for countries other than India and export registration to export to India. To apply for a Certificate of Origin and export registration when exporting to India, go to Agency Application Submission and click on Import License Export Permit COO. When exporting to countries other than India, complete the following details under the header tab as indicated. For the OGA name, select DOT_RO. For the document type, choose Permit. Now, when it comes to the document, you have two options. If you've got a letter of credit LC created and available, then select Export to Coty with letter of credit. On the other hand, if there isn't an LC available, select Export to Coty without letter of credit. Selecting the HQ or RO office involves aligning it with your business location. Choose the suitable DOT regional office. As for the UCR number, select from the drop-down menu. Click Save to proceed. When you're exporting to India, here's the process. For the OGA name, choose DOT_HQ. As for the document type, it should be permit. For the document, select Export to India. When it comes to the UCR number, select one from the drop-down menu. Click Save to proceed. You do not have to update or enter any details under Party section. This section is only for viewing, where you can view the details of both the exporter and importer. If trader is importing from India, importer is Bhutanese and exporter is Indian. If trader is exporting to India, exporter is Bhutanese and importer is Indian. Please note that you shouldn't make any changes here as the information is automatically sourced from the UCR details. Next, click on Transport tab. Choose the transport mode from the drop-down list. Select your entry gate from the drop-down list. Update the expected date of goods shipment to Bhutan. Select cargo type. Click on Save. Click on the invoice header, then click the plus button. Fill in all the necessary information. If your proforma invoice copy does not include insurance and freight charges, select FOB under Incoterm. If these charges are included, opt for CIF and fill in the freight and insurance fields accordingly. Please do not modify the exchange rate. It is automatically linked to the bank's exchange rate. Enter only the value of the goods, excluding the amounts for freight and insurance in the invoice amount field. If you have a long list of items in your invoice copy, you have the option to use a template and upload it in the BTFN system. To do this, download the Upload Item template from the BTFN website and add all items from your invoice copy to this template and save it on your desktop. Next, click on Upload Item Header. Then click the plus button and upload the filled template. If you are importing a few items as indicated in the invoice copy, click on Item Header and click on plus button. The BTC code might be provided in your invoice copy. Enter the first 4 digits in the BTFN system and the BTC code will appear. In the country of origin field, kindly input the country in which the products are made. Complete the following subheaders: item, item value, and additional info document. Always click on the plus button whenever you add new items from the proforma invoice and fill up all and save. Repeat the process to add on new items. Please ensure that the total invoice price updated under the invoice header is equal to the sum of the values of items listed under the item and upload item headers. Click on the document's header and locate the plus button in the top right corner. Use this plus button to attach documents such as the proforma invoice. Click on the additional header in order to provide your letter of credit details. Please note that if you have selected Export to Coty without LC, this section will not be visible. Finally, click on Summary Header. Click on Terms and Conditions to read through and ensure that you are not importing or exporting prohibited or restricted items without proper clearance. If clearance is required, please obtain it from the relevant agency and upload it in the system. Then, tick the Agreed box. Next, click on the Validate button to confirm that all required fields are filled. Finally, proceed to Submit. Upon submission, you will receive an application reference number. To check the status of your application, go to Search Documents. If it displays Submitted, it indicates that your application has not yet been approved by the Department of Trade. Please note that you will not receive any notifications unless your application is approved. If you are an exporter, your application will be forwarded to the Department of Trade regional offices. Once approved, you will receive an email or SMS notification. If you are an importer, your application will be sent to the Department of Trade headquarters in Thimphu. Upon approval, you will also receive an email or SMS notification. The application process will remain the same for all export and import licenses or permits. Amendment or cancellation of consignment documents and extension of import license. To amend consignment documents, follow these steps. Go to Agency Application Submission and select Amend Import License Export Permit and locate your application. You can view your previous application submission by clicking on the reference number. Choose a reason code from the drop-down. If none apply, select Others. Provide your reasons for amendment in the Remarks section. Click Submit to proceed. To cancel applications for consignment documents, follow these steps. Go to Agency Application Submission and click on Create Cancellation and locate your application. You can review your previous application submission by clicking on the reference number. Kindly mention your reason for cancelling your application under Remarks and Submit. Your application will then be forwarded to DOT MOICE for approval. If you need to extend the validity of your import license, you need to apply for an extension request. Here is how. Go to Agency Application Submission. Choose Import License Extension Request and locate your application. Select the extension months from the drop-down list under Extension and provide the reasons in the Remarks section. Click on Save to proceed. Click on the document's header. Next, click the plus button to upload any additional documents related to the import license extension. Finally, click Submit under the summary. A message stating extension request has been submitted successfully will pop up along with the reference number. This reference number should be used by the applicant later to check the approval status of the extension request. To check the approval status of the import license extension request submitted to DOT MOICE by the applicant, go to Search Extension Request and enter the reference number you have noted earlier to locate your application. If approved, the status will show as approved.